The Sixers had a big week. They've won 14 in a row. We'll talk more about them and the upcoming playoffs with Marc Jackson, NBC Sports Philadelphia pre- and post-game. He joins us right now on the Boardwalk Honda hotline with a closer look at the Sixers, Mark, who have won 14 games in a row. What has been the most impressive part of this win streak?
The most impressive part to me, Ben, is the mark of Ben Simmons being aggressive, knowing what the team wants. That's been, to be honest, that's been the most impressive thing. So now he's just not getting to the basket and kicking off for threes. He's getting to the basket trying to score. And that's been the most impressive thing during the streak. And also their ability to go on runs and score multiple buckets for multiple guys that can shoot the ball. So those facets, and I think, to be honest, I think they work together. Ben creating, Ben scoring, and then guys and then teammates scoring the ball when Ben gives them shots. I think those have been the most two impressive things during this run.
Would you say, I mean, at first, Joel Embiid goes out, and there's some concern. Would you say that this has actually been a good growing up for them to be able to figure out how to play without him?
Absolutely. Great job seeing that. Absolutely. That has taught this team that even when Joel is out, even let's see that. Even when we have other ways to score. So I think this has been extraordinary for this team, and it's a kind of gain by lose scenario where you lose your best player and you gain experience from everyone else and everyone getting playing time and being able to score the ball. Because let's face it, gentlemen, the team struggled at times to score buckets when Joel wasn't getting it going. But now I think they found a way to get it done. Bellinelli and Ilyasova has been a great addition, and J.J. Redick has been just what we signed up for.
Hey, Mark, is there any concern about how they fit Joel back in when he does come back? I mean, Ben seems like he's really flourishing without Joel right now. Will there be like a little process, if you will, or an awkwardness when Joel comes back?
I don't think so. And that's a great question. Because people can see it that way. People can see it that way, but I don't think so. I truly believe that it has. What have we been begging for? What have we been asking for? We've been asking for Ben to score the ball. We've been asking for Ben to be able to hit the ball, go get buckets when we need them. And he's answered and done that. I mean, that's extraordinary. So this has been a great situation for Ben to grow up and to learn without his big brother. He's learned to do things and go and play without him. And with that being said, it's not only helped him, but it's helped this team tremendously. I'm so excited, as you can tell. I'm so thrilled by what I've been seeing lately, and I'm so happy.
Marc Jackson with us, NBC Sports Philadelphia pre- and post Sixers coverage. So, Mark, why has Ben been able to score more? Do you think his game has evolved a little bit, or has he become more aggressive?
I think he knows that the team needed him. The team needed him to score, and Joel wasn't there, and I think he's been forced to grow up. I think he's truly been forced to grow up. Now, what I mean by grow up, I mean that respectfully, where he's been forced to do things that he hasn't been asked to do before. And I think it's just addition by subtraction. It's been addition by subtraction with Joel being out. Ben, we need you to score. And he said, okay, I'll score. But when it was interesting, when Joel was in the lineup, what we was asking for Ben to score, and he kept saying, I don't need to score 45. I can set people up. And he's been doing that. But now it's like he did the right thing for his team. Okay, I know I'm not that guy to try to score, but I think we need this now, and I'm going to do it. And he's answered for that.
Marc Jackson, NBC Sports Philadelphia pre- and post-game live for Sixers basketball. All right, here's one for you, Mark. Late in a playoff game, who gets the call by a Marc Jackson coached team? Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons?
Oh, no question about it. We getting the ball to Joel. Why are we getting the ball to Joel in a crunch time to win a game? Because Joel can hit foul shots. Respectfully, Ben has been wanting that role. He's been flourishing that role since Joel's been out. But I truly believe, in all honesty, that when the game's in line, I think that's another green. I think he gets that ball to Joel Embiid. Until Ben can learn to hit foul shots, I think you get it to Joel. Let's look at a prime example of the Miami game. When Miami was making a run, who was handling the ball? Bellinelli, J.J. Redick. Like that turnover that almost became real crucial when Bellinelli picked the dribble up at half court.
You mean the Cavs game the other night?
The Cleveland game.
Yeah, you said Miami.
And I apologize.
Yeah.
The Cleveland game. And Bellinelli picked that ball up and threw it away when he got pressure at half court and threw that ball away. And that's how Miami was able to get to the free throw line. That they led into that. So that's to show you we can't have that ball yet because he's not ready for it. But we know Joel is.
Yeah.
We know Joel is, and we know Joel can hit foul shots. So with that being said, that answers your question. I think that's a no-brainer, to be honest. I think Joel keeps that ball.
How about this in terms of Fultz? I mean, it seems like Brett right now has a toy, and he's like, I got to keep playing with this toy. He's giving him more and more and more. Is he going to get to the point where he's going to have to find more minutes for this kid come playoff time, or is that too risky?
No. I think Markel is doing a great job of working himself back in with the help of Coach Brett Brown. He's did a great job of working his way in, getting accustomed, getting some rhythm to his legs, and just doing what the team asked him to do. I think the first couple of games, he was trying to make him comfortable. He's got a lead. They put him back in to get some minutes, and he was being score the ball out the system, trying to score the ball, and it wasn't crunch time minutes. It was just extra garbage minutes, and I think that helped lead to his confidence. And it's interesting. Even though he's been playing between 12 and 18 minutes, he seems to be in great condition, and that's very impressive to me because the game of basketball in the NBA is a high-paced game. And you have to be in great condition to play. And he seems to be in tremendous condition. So to answer your question, I see Markel Fultz not playing that 12 he's been playing. When playoff time comes, he's been making such a difference. I see Markel Fultz getting in the 20s, easily getting in the 20s in minutes-wise.
Real quick, they played him and Ben together the other night. Do you want to see more of that?
I do. And I think we get to that point where we do see more of that because that's our future. Even in the playoffs, if it is helping us win, if you tell where we're going to see it. If Markel Fultz is in the lineup and he's scoring defense and he's getting the job done and he's been playing tremendous defense, Markel Fultz will play. He will play and he will get the job done. So you will see Ben, and you will see Markel playing major minutes together.
Hey, Mark, is Robert Covington improving on defense to your eyes because of his three-point shot isn't falling? You can always play defense, right?
Exactly. So we used to think that he can only play defense. He can only be a three-point shooter. But let's just be honest, guys. His defense has been great. He's rebounding the ball more than he ever has. He's been playing better defense. He's been getting in passing lanes. And it's just been exciting to watch him develop. I truly believe that he's been developing. And remember, I don't know if anybody remember that. I called it at the end of last year. They said, what about this team? I said, if Covington can improve 1%, then this team was fighting for a fourth or a fifth seed. And looks like he looked like a fortune teller. I mean, he's improved tremendously. And I'm excited to see it because people saying, he got his contract. Is he going to keep playing good and hard? I think he has. I really think he has.
Leads the NBA with 19 steals in the month of April. The league's only player with at least 10 steals and 10 blocks this month. So the two games this weekend, Mark, they couldn't have been more different. Friday, electric. The building was rocking. Yet defensively, I mean, Cleveland was able to put up points. And then, obviously, yesterday's game when they went up against Dallas. With the Sixers hold teams to under 100 points, which is more of what you think we'll see from the Sixers in the playoffs? The team that just let LeBron walk in and jam on Friday, or the one that made Dallas look stupid yesterday?
I think, well, first of all, but this is true. I don't think you can game plan for LeBron. And why I don't think you can game plan for LeBron is because LeBron has improved so much on his shooting that now it was before, just stop from your dribble, you really got a chance. Try to limit his transition points, you got a chance. But now he's playing so well with step-back threes, creating room to get his jump shot off. I really believe he's playing so well that you cannot game plan for it. I believe that you have to be prepared so he's going to get his 30 to 40 points, and you got to slow everybody else down, and hopefully they don't get off. I think that's the key to beat Cleveland. I don't think you can game plan for them. So I think he's a red where we will question the Sixers defense because he makes defense look bad. I really do believe that. But I think Sixers versus Miami, if they go into that place where that's where they're playing, I truly believe it's going to be a great matchup. The only thing to look out for, I may be jumping ahead of the gun, the only thing to look out for versus Miami, they have long perimeter defenders. So with that being said, that's going to be a question is that Ben Simmons can use his speed over their longer guards to still create around the rim because Miami has about 2 or 3 players that can defend him and with his length.
Hey, Mark, all right, so Philly plays Atlanta on Tuesday, and then they play Milwaukee. If you're Milwaukee, do you want to play Philly or Boston?
Oh, everyone wants to play Boston. Everyone. Listen, Phoenix feels as though if they can somehow get some kind of extension and get in the playoffs, that they can beat Boston with all the bangers. Listen, there's too many injuries and too many guys hurt that I think Boston's a first-round out. I don't care who Boston plays.
Wow. So does that mean does that mean for Philly that the 3 seed is imperative?
Yes. I do not want to play Toronto. I do not want to play Toronto until the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals. If I can find a way to play my first opponent, which hopefully the way it sits Miami, and then my second opponent is Boston or whoever they play, I want to take my luck to that. I want to try to avoid Toronto, who no one's talking about, maybe because they're in Canada, but nobody's talking about Toronto. And Toronto is a very, very good team with a lot of pieces that can do a lot of things on offense and defense. And I truly believe that Kyle Lowry playing against his hometown team will have a playoff series to remember.
So are you insinuating that you think Toronto would knock Cleveland off?
I do. Even though LeBron has their number, I think Toronto is playing great ball because, let's face it, LeBron averaged 45 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists, and 7 steals. That's what he's going to average in playoffs. He's going to average those numbers in every playoff game until he turns 106. All right, his son is going to be in the NBA and then retire before him. Okay? So I think your key to Cleveland is let LeBron get hits and stopping everybody else. Unless LeBron can score 125 points that outscore an NBA team by himself, I think the key is you can't stop him, just stop everybody else.
Mark, how important will J.J. Redick be in the playoffs as the Sixers' only full-time starter that's been there multiple times before?
J.J. Redick is so important. Why is he important? Because he has the playoff experience. He's a winner coming from Duke. He's played that in big-time games, and like most of those guys have. But what's important about J.J. is he's had the experience. He's been the piece that we wanted. But I don't know if you remember 2 years ago, I said they need J.J. They need someone who's been there, done that. They need someone who's a great locker room presence. But not only that, someone who's a great veteran who also gives you contribution on the court. And he's the guy. So he's going to be major importance to spacing that floor, opening the driving lanes up for Ben Simmons, and then you can't leave him with JoJo gets the ball. You can't double off of him, which is interesting last night or against Dallas when I seen they had Markelle Fultz, Dario Saric, Bellinelli, Ilya Silva, and JJ on the floor. Woo! Did you hear that? Did you imagine that shooting and spacing with those 5 guys on the floor? That's incredible. So imagine Ben is in that game with those guys and take Markelle out. Or imagine put Joel in and you still have that spacing. You cannot guard the Sixers with that much firepower. You just can't. You can't.
Talking with Marc Jackson here on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. Of course, Marc Jackson, you can see him on NBC Sports Philadelphia, Sixers pre and post. Sixers getting ready for the playoffs. They'll play Atlanta and Milwaukee before they get there. And, right now, What is something that, I know there's only 2 games left, but entering the playoffs, what is something that they need to improve on if they want to make a deep run?
What's going to be important, and no one's talking about this yet, what's going to be very important is the adjustments of Brett Brown during the game. I think the team is capable of guarding and defending multiple ways and guarding perimeter, guarding pick and rolls, guarding low post scoring. I think what's going to be important to them is Coach Brown being able to make adjustments and the team being able to make adjustments on the fly and listen to the coach and make adjustments on the court in the fly. You can come up with a game plan. You can come up with a game plan, but that don't mean nothing when a team is making adjustments and then they adjust to your adjustment and you got to come up with something new in like saying up 3 times up and down the floor. So that's going to be very important to see how quick can the team make adjustments in the game. I really believe that's going to be important.
Okay, so if Philly gets the 3 seed, can they make it to how far? Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals, as opposed to the 4 seed?
Okay, if the Sixers can stay at the 3rd seed, and we know Toronto's playing the 1st, they're going to keep that 1st seed.
Yeah, Toronto's won.
Exactly, and Toronto's not falling from there.
Well, they clinched.
If the Sixers, they're clinched. So they're at first, right? So the Sixers are going to be the 3rd seed. If they can keep it, they're going to be the 3rd seed. And if they win that first round, their second round opponent is most likely.
It would be Boston. It would be Boston or the 7th seed, which right now is Milwaukee.
Is Milwaukee, which would be Milwaukee. So the Sixers, and now you heard it first. Well, so if they can get past Miami, which is going to be hard, then they'll play Milwaukee second round. So with that being said, I believe the Sixers will get to the Eastern Conference Finals with Joel Embiid on the floor. I don't know about the finals. I'm still concerned if they can get by the first, second round. Beating Toronto would be a large task to do, but I truly believe the 76ers will at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Hey, Mark,
Mark,
did you ever wear a mask?
Yes.
All right.
I have worn masks. I wore masks in college, got my nose broke, wore a mask, and it wasn't as difficult as it seems. The only thing that this may be good for some players, the only thing that's difficult with a mask is your peripheral vision, which means shooting the ball is not bad. But seeing out the corners, seeing guys coming from angles, or being able to make passes is difficult because the peripheral is kind of jaded a little bit because of the mask. That's the only thing to me that bothers me is the peripheral vision of the mask. So, but that being said, that means you might shoot an extra 5 times because I ain't pass it. I just couldn't see him that well, coach. So I make a bad pass. I understood I was shooting.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a good thing for some players.
Yeah, it's interesting because, Richard Hamilton, he wore that thing damn near his whole career. He just said, I'm going to keep this thing on. So some people liked it and felt better with it on, and other people, wanted to get that thing off as fast as possible.
Exactly. Hey, Rip was what? A shooter. Rip was a shooter. So he wanted to keep that mask on. And then after he got better, he still wore for 6 more months. So he didn't want to take that mask off. He wanted to keep it on.
Yeah.
He wanted to. Remember, he got hurt. His injury was fine. He kept that mask on for 6 more months.
Yeah.
Then he finally decided, middle game, all right, I'm done with it, and took it off.
Wild.
So some players get used to it, and the technology today, guys.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's so far-fetched. It's they can make anything work. Anything work.
He's Marc Jackson, and we hope to have him on a ton during the NBA playoffs because he adds so much knowledge and experience to the show
and passion.
And look, we agree. If they get to that 3 seed, I heard one NBA guy say today the 3 seed in the East is the best path to the finals in the league.
I agree with that 100%.
All right, we got Philly, Atlanta, Philly, Milwaukee. Cleveland has New York and New York. If Cleveland wins both and Philly wins both, Philly will win the 3. If Philly goes 1-1 and Cleveland wins both, Cleveland has the tiebreaker. We'll have the playoff matchups for you on Thursday. Marc Jackson, appreciate it as always, pal.
Appreciate you guys. This is fun, man.